Hi, my name's Thete, and I'm going to go over my experience and quite possibly the experience of a number of others pre-ordering their copy of the new Warhammer 40k edition Indomitus, which came out for pre-order on Saturday and stopped being out for pre-order on Saturday. So, I mean, I got back into Warhammer a couple of years ago, and I got into Age of Sigmar first of all, and I like all the army, so I get all the stuff. And it was the end of 2018, I believe it was, when the Beasts of Chaos Battle Turn was coming out, and I was going to get the pre-order. Went on, it was the same day, and it sold out. So I was able to get the stuff I needed a bit later, but I couldn't get the limited edition Battle Turn, basically. And, you know, that was disappointing. That was disappointing that it sold out on the same day. And I thought to myself, this is an absolute madness that you're selling out of things on the same day. That means you're not producing enough of this stuff. And that included the War Scroll cards, which are actually of practical use. I mean, if you have to do without a limited edition book, as long as you're getting the book, you could argue, well, that's fine. It makes a mess of your bookcase, never mind. But, you know, it's a practical use. Why even have it limited edition? If you're going to have it limited edition, at least make enough of them that you're not going to run out within a few hours. But I learnt my lesson. When a pre-order is due to come out that I really want, you get yourself on the website early, you're refreshing. Usually it goes live at 10 o'clock. Occasionally it goes live a little bit earlier. And I had a hint they might do that with the Indomitus in order to preserve the, you know, the web store servers. And so I'm now in the habit of being there on time to get that pre-order through. And no different on Saturday. And I was there, you know, from 9:30. As it got up to about 9:45 UK time, it was struggling a little bit. You know, the website was going, it's always down for maintenance. And I thought, okay, are they doing something? No, they weren't. It was just, you'd refresh it, came back again. I was doing some searches just in case there were some other things I wanted to get. I was struggling. It was all struggling. And then it got to 10 o'clock and you click on the pre-order for Indomitus and the wheel of doom whirling around thinking about it. Oh, no, do I refresh? Do I refresh? I'm refreshing, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, I got my copy. In fact, I ordered, you know, all the various bits that I wanted. Now, fair enough, Games Workshop had in advance said what's in each of the bits. I didn't have to carefully read them to make sure I was getting what I wanted and not too much. So I got everything I wanted. I already knew in advance what I wanted to click on. Now, they'd initially said they were going to limit copies to 6 per person of Indomitus. Then they said, it's looking like it's a bit popular, this. We're going to have to restrict it to 3 per person to give everyone maximum chance of getting their own copy. To which I thought, how can you not be aware until a few days beforehand just how popular it's likely to be? I mean, this is before the pre-order's even gone out. Like, are you not aware that you knew they know they're producing a popular game? Anyway, whatever it was, they reduced it to 3. Now, for my money, that's, you know, I don't understand why you would even allow someone to get more than 1 copy. I can understand there are circumstances under which some people may like more than 1 copy. You may live with a partner, for example, and it might be that one of you does want Necrons, the other wants Space Marines. And you just say, well, you can have double and we'll have our own book, stuff like that. Or just a friend, do the same sort of arrangement. So you split it. That way you're each getting your core book and core rule book and all the other paraphernalia. And then someone gets a double helping of Necrons, someone a double helping of Space Marines. That all makes sense. Although if you're doing it with a friend, you're still buying 1 each, aren't you? The number of circumstances under which people, like they were billing it as, so someone just wants to set themselves up a full Necron army. Well, no, if you buy several copies, you're still not getting yourself a full Necron. It's not likely to be a full competitive Necron army. You still want the other units, which are available now. No. We know what the vast majority, anyone who was buying more than 1 copy, yes, there were some who may genuinely be actually using those pieces. The vast majority of people were doing it so they could sell it on eBay for a markup later. That was that simple, and it was obvious. But I thought to myself, well, look, you know, they've announced this measure. You know, they've announced initially they were going to allow people to buy up to 6. So they sort of know, and they said they had loads. They said, we've done loads of copies. Don't have to worry about it. We've done loads. And they also said, and the pre-order's coming out. Normally a pre-order comes out and it's out the next week. The pre-order was made available 2 weeks ahead because this is coming out on, what is it, the 25th of July. So the pre-order comes out on the 11th, so that's 2 weeks. Which suggests to me to give everyone plenty of time for if they want the extra stuff you get. So you pre-order, you get a bag of tokens and objective markers sort of thing. You know, fine. You're giving people, you know, time to do that. Within an hour, they're all sold out. And you just think, so if someone just was at work and came back and still logged on the same day, this thing that's out for pre-order for 2 whole weeks, they can't get the set. Now, just so we're not going overboard here, doesn't mean to say you won't be able to get the rules. You can still get the core rule book. You won't be able to get the limited edition one. You can get the core rule book on its own. You can get the chapter approved, which you're going to need for the points values. You know, you can get some of the other bits and pieces. And for most people, that will be fine. Because for most people, well, even if they play Necrons or Space Marines, they don't necessarily need the new units. They just want to be able to get the rules. And the points values, really crucially, to get into 9th edition ASAP. And that'll be fine. But then again, that also makes it much more blatant, surely, that selling out after an hour is really just people buying them knowing full well they can make a profit on eBay. And you know, and a lot of people would have done that anyway by buying one copy. They don't, you know, they'll buy one copy and then just almost certainly sell they won't even sell the set on eBay. They'll just sell the individual bits on eBay for bigger markup. You know, so people that have got the set and they might want some more of the Necrons, well, they'll just buy what they need because someone will have portioned it out and sold it up and getting an absolute bomb for it on eBay. And the company, I don't understand this. Like Games Workshop, brilliant. I love the games. You know, not all of them. I like Age of Sigmar and I like Warcry. Kill Team, 40k. I was looking forward to getting back into that after many years. And I'm looking forward to 9th edition. And I like that. And the models are really good. Even though as someone who just wants to play the game, doesn't like the modelling and stuff like that, some of them are a bit awkward to put together, Games Workshop, I'm just saying. But that's just me. But the products are really good. But the way they run the business is appalling. Absolutely appalling. I don't want to go into a whole rant about everything that I hate about it, but this is ridiculous, isn't it? They knew it was popular. They knew it was going to be popular. They must have known that this thing was... to sell out in an hour, you know, if you're going to say that you didn't anticipate this selling out even after a week, if you put it on for 2 weeks pre-order, that you didn't think that this would sell out even within 1 week, should suggest that as it's sold out in an hour, you really ought to think about your marketing team. Because they don't know what they're doing. They've no idea. Absolutely shocking, isn't it? Now, I'm not saying that, you know, anyone trying to get it yesterday may not have been able to get a copy. Let's say you had to go out to work and you had to get it when you came back. Hopefully you'd been able to get it somewhere else without paying extortionate fees second-hand on eBay. Hopefully, you know, there'd have been other suppliers you'd have been able to get it from, or even your local store potentially. But I mean, you know, that'd be unlikely. Maybe you went nipped out in your break if there's one near where you work. But the fact that it's perfectly possible that people trying to order it on the day it was released for pre-order, which is 2 weeks ahead of it actually being released, would not be able to reserve a copy, to me is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And I was thinking when someone sort of noted, because I'd got mine and I had to refresh it loads of times. Even when I was paying for it, I had to refresh the site lots of times. It was a struggle, let me tell you. Many of you may already know this. And then someone on Facebook showed like an hour later that it's not there anymore. And I looked at the situation and it was still had the pre-order tab there, but if you click on it, it says not available online. And I thought to myself, well, hang on a minute. They've said they've got loads of copies, number one. They've also brought it out with 2 weeks to go for the pre-order. I thought to myself, Maybe they've just released so many a day. So actually, it'll be, there'll be more the next day. It'll be back available. No, it's not. It's not. It actually just, because it's now saying no longer available online. There's nothing there about, stock coming or something like that. So that means that you can't now pre-order it on Games Workshop's web store. Maybe you can elsewhere. Although, given how quickly it sold out on Games Workshop's web store, I think that's probably unlikely as well. And it's poor that there'll be players there who wanted that box, who will play Necrons or will intend to play Necrons, or wanted the things with it. And it's not just that they couldn't get it because people got there first. They know full well, we all know full well, that some people, many people, if not most of the copies that were sold to people who will just intend to sell it on at a profit. That you haven't lost your copy to someone who themselves is an avid gamer that wants the game for themselves, but just someone that's spied a profit. And that is disappointing. But anyway, that's what I've got to say on it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Hope you found the video interesting. If you did, don't forget to click the like button. Until next time, I'll see you later.